Alright, Real Estate Mathematics and Problem Solving, Chapter 18. Essential matters to learn in this chapter. Most real estate questions or exams or word problems. You will be expected to interpret the question, calculate the answer, generally calculators are permitted. Frequently finding proper solution math questions require a disproportionate amount of time. It can solve the question in a few minutes and make it a return after you've completed the rest of the test. Each question counts equally, so don't short time the change you spend on 20 questions just to solve one math problem. Return on time consuming math questions as you completed other questions. For example, if you have a 100-question test, a 2-hour time limit, the average time budget each question is 1 minute. That would leave time to check your answers, return difficult questions if that flagged. If you spend 15 minutes to solve one math question, you're shortchanging your time to answer something else. It's better to miss one math question than not finish the test, leaving 15 other questions unanswered, rushing through them. The same is true while studying the book, and if the math is strong suit, you breathe for this chapter. However, the weak math, it may take much time to learn how you missed the material on other chapters, so mindful of how you spend your time. When addressing math problems, you should suggest read the question carefully, determine what you saw, determine how to derive the answer, calculate the answer. If your answer among choices, you're probably right. If the time permits, check your work and input answering into the question to determine whether the solution fits the problem. Most measurement lengths and areas are well known. For real estate, you must memorize that 43,560 square feet in an acre. There's 640 acres in a square mile. You will also need to understand frontage refers to the number of linear feet along the front of a lot. It refers to how far back the lot goes. Linear feet, the distance along the straight line, it's one-dimensional. Square feet is an area to two-dimensional. Cubic feet is three-dimensional size of the box measuring cubic feet. You may see the types of math problems. There are area of a lot building, measuring question may ask many lots carved out of a given number of acres, how many square feet are in a building lot, and how deep is the lot. Percentage problem, commission problems may ask the dollar amount of commission given a real estate sales price and a commission split arrangement. Interest problems may require finding interest rate with the amount of interest to be paid. Typically, interest payments problems state given amount and the time of days or month. Depreciation problems ask you to calculate the property value loss given in its costage, and useful life profit loss problems ask for amount of percentage gain or loss based on an initial investment. Return on investment problems are similar to interest problems. They seek the rate of return expanded earned usually annually on investment. Proration problems require the calculated daily amount of interest, insurance, real estate, AX expense on the part of a year. In many cases, you may determine who pays, who receives the credit based on due payments when the closing of the date will for sale. Mathematic problems will enter the license examination more or less likely to form a word problem. The problems describe the situation for which I find a mathematical answer. Here's an example in simple words. I have three apples. John has 4. How many apples did John and I have together? Obviously, some of the word problems are complicated. However, all the math questions can be solved performing these steps. Read the question, determine what is being asked for, determine how to arrive at the answer, calculate the answer. The last step is particularly important, especially when the problem is complicated. Once you have to make sure that it did all the calculations correctly, your answer will be wrong, or on your answer will be wrong. On most examinations, know how to do the problem will give you no credit. You must provide the correct answer evidence. You know how to determine a particular problem. You should be aware of one more fact or mathematical questions offered multiple choice. You have both advantage and possible disadvantage. Advantage is always present that you're given a correct answer due to the problem. Obviously, the most among one of those choose from. You have to do this to figure out which one is possible. Disadvantage, in some cases, the incorrect answer may answer you would arrive at making common mistakes. You'll be lulled into choosing an incorrect answer by assuming, since your calculations give you an answer appear in one of the most of them, it must be correct. You should especially be on your guard if one choices choices given and likely none of the above and none of the other answers is correct. Kind of choice may mean none of the answers is correct, but it's also included in the red herring. Mistakes in mathematical problems may result from incorrect reading of the problem solution. Read carefully, misunderstand what is being asked for. Solution, read carefully but slowly. You have plenty of time. Don't rush. Not knowing how to do the problem correctly, solutions study the chapter carefully so that you know how to approach all kinds of problems. Incorrect calculation, answers study the methods of calculation, kind of real estate outline in this chapter. Mistake arithmetic, solution, you check your work, make sure that you did your arithmetic correctly. Note the 5 common sources of the errors can be controlled by 5 steps in problem solving offered in the beginning of the chapter. Discuss various kinds of real estate mathematic problems. Going to assume the chapter have the adequate knowledge of basic arithmetic. Have your calculator ready before you tackle sample problems. Use the opportunity to become familiar with the calculator. If you are ready, you must go do the kinds of the problems of the calculator because you all being one used for the exam. Alright, measurement in terms of many real estate involved measurements of lengths areas will be assumed to know the measurements 12 inches foot, 3 foot yard, 5,280 feet in a mile, 1,440 square inches in a square foot, 9 square feet in a yard, 640 acres in a square mile. Most of these measurements are already known. Here's how to absolutely remember. 1 acre, 43,560 square feet. Remember this in memory. You can't bet the farm you'll be asked for that require you know the number of square feet an acre. Special terms you should know. Also, you must know the special terms real estate measurement. They are illustrated in Figure 18.1. Depth of the straight line distance from the front of the line to the rear of a lot. If the lot lines are parallel, the term depth refers to the longest straight line distance between them. Then the lot is shown in Figure 18.1 as depth of 272 feet. Frontage is the lineal distance or lineal foot below of the lot line is all part of the public street. One right-of-way frontage corners usually expressed in separate figures. Distance fronting on each of the streets a lot bounds. This will apply with the very depth of the last board steps at both ends of the frontage of the lot is Figure 18.1 133 feet. Front foot refers to the distance of the lot borders on the street. Illustrated with the Figure 18.1, we can say 133 feet frontage, or it has 133 front foot. To say that a lot has 133 front feet of frontage is redundant. Linear foot refers to the distance between two particular spots. Note linear feet need to be straight measurements rather than term refers to the number of feet traveled while following a particular path connecting a particular point of interest. In relation to the term is usually normally described in regular sides, such as east side of the lot, Figure 18.1, which is 363 lineal feet on the lot, has 272 feet of depth. The regular pass along the road and so on. Right-of-way refers to the area owned by the government which with the road is located on the maps and plots of the right-of-way. Usually refers to width of the right-of-way of the area which usually exceeds pavement width. Approaches and solving problems to assume familiar with the basic method of calculating the distance, areas, volume, with how it will confine and oversell with particular kinds of real estate problems that you will encounter. Most of them are characterized in specific forms of problems that are easy to recognize. Before showing how to deal with them, however, you should pass on a critical hint to solving the kinds of problems. Draw a picture of the problem if it's possible. The picture as your guide can go through the problem step by step. We cannot stress the process by drawing a picture of the problem. You can look at a picture valuable, especially it helps you visualize the problem. Sometimes, of course, the problem of an exam include a picture or diagram, but it doesn't supply your own. If it doesn't supply your own, then when you do the problem, work very careful step by step. Even if you feel that it's taking some shortcuts, do it in your head. Don't solve the problem this way. It may be boring, tedious, and help eliminate mistakes. Percentage problem. A great many of the real estate problems involve percentages that include commission, interest, mortgage payments, loan discounts, depreciation, profit, loss, return of an investment. We'll discuss these. You should be remembered in mathematics involve the same. All of them, you will be looking at one of three things: the base rate and result. Every percent problem is stated in 3 variations following. A is B, percent of C. Numerical examples of all problems are likely a statement except if the numbers is missing problem, find a number. Solutions of these problems: A equals B times C, B equals A divided by C, C is equal to A divided by B. An easy way to remember: A is multiplied by C. Find either B or C with the division A of their, for example, to illustrate 3 variation percents. Commission problems naturally are very popular real estate exams because of the license and are paid commission. A real estate commission is simply leave the employer paid to the agent perform the function. Most often the commission is a portion of the sales price received. by the seller because of the efforts of the agent source of buyer. Typically, the commission rate from as low as 1% or less to over 10%, depending on the kind of property, feeling custom in areas success of the agent employer in the negotiation and listing of the contract. Simplest common problems are like those ones Jones smells Smith says his house, 7%. What is the commission? The same problem which type 1 described can also be stated in type 2 and 3. These problems are simple to make more interest than often expanded one of two ways. The first way is to make it more complicated. There are two methods of doing so, but the second way to develop the question and lie backwards often traps many unwary exams, but if an intention will fool you. First, look at the more elaborate kinds of the commission problem of the two methods using A to calculate serials person per share total commission, B to make the means to determine the commission is complicated, and then I think we're going to skip the rest of the chapter, and I'm sorry.